Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 22 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I was very busy trying to get all of my data modules up to self-aware level, and I managed to succeed with the exception of Shulker, Blaze, and Ghast, because Ghasts never spawn when you need them to. I also completely forgot about Blue Slime, and Guardians, I don't know where Guardians are, so I can't find a Guardian Temple to actually kill them. I'm sure sometime in the future I will stumble into a dimension that has them. Until then, I guess I'm SOL. But what we're going to be doing in this episode, if my inventory is any indication, is we are going to set up deep mob learning, and we are going to automate every single one of these data modules. Oh, and while I was in the end hunting shulkers, I also managed to find a Spectre Coil. So in Ragnamod, the Spectre Coil only generated 1 RF a tick, and it was just terrible. This one actually generates 128 RF a tick, which I believe is the default. Regardless, I wish that I had found more, but at least I have one, so that's worth celebrating, I suppose. So I already have 2 simulation chambers and 2 loot fabricators from the work I did with my skeleton data module, I don't even know how many episodes ago, but I'm going to make 18 more of both of them, because there are a total of 20 data modules that I want to set up. I am not sure where I want to place this yet. I know it's going to be in one of the 3 towers. Probably, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to place it in this tower right here. Maybe down near the bottom, because the more machines I have running up near the top, the more that it interferes with my ore processing setup. So yeah, I think I'm going to have it a little bit lower so that anything that's happening in this area isn't really going to affect me. But yeah, down at the bottom sounds about right. So here's what the overall look is going to be for my entire deep mob learning setup. I went back and made a full stack of each machine, and it still wasn't enough. I need to make 12 more of each, and that requires me to make some more soot redstone because I ran out. Regardless, this is going to require quite a bit of the polymer clay, and that's what down here is going to be for, and I'm going to set that up next. I'm not sure how the wiring is going to go here, because I wanted to use the vacuum signalum plated impulse item ducts. Say that 5 times fast. However, to have them in the placement I wanted, which was right here, I would have to go down a little bit, but once I get to this area with the dynamic edge light, I can't actually place anything there because that block spot is being taken up by the light. So maybe a solution to that problem would be to actually move the machines forward one, and where the glass is supposed to be, well, I guess that wouldn't work either, because if I move it forward one, I can't put the glass there. So yeah, I'm not sure about the wiring yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out or burn that bridge when I get to it. But for now, I'm going to go set up the things that I need for the polymer clay, and that requires getting into mystical agriculture, finally. So getting into mystical agriculture in this pack is a little bit different than usual because I'm going to be using these seed extractors instead. In order to get the materials that I need in order to mass produce the polymer clay, I'm going to need lapis, I'm going to need clay, iron, and gold. So in order to get the the lapis requires the Superium seed extractor. I'm not sure which one gets iron, but regardless, I'm going to go all the way up to the Superium level. And that, thankfully, because all of my ore processing has given me Inferium Essence and Prosperity Shards, as well as my Insanium Pickaxe has given me a lot of Prosperity Shards, it's absolutely no problem whatsoever to make all of the Essence I need. I just have to make the Infusion Crystals to match it. So I'm going to make 4 Inferium Infusion Crystals just to start with, and we're going to just make all of our stuff up to Superium Essence. We are just about done, and here we go, Superium Seed Extractor. This was very annoying to make because I needed to, the infusion crystals needed to make the Prudentium, Intermedium, whatever. It's not under the mod name Mystical, it is actually under MATC. And if there's any sort of durability damage on these whatsoever, they don't actually recognize as part of a recipe. So I actually have to type in MATC every time, put it in the crafting grid, and then get my upgraded essence. So that is very annoying. I also tried taking out each of these crystals and using my talisman over here to try and repair it, and it does not work. So yeah, my repair tablet does not work on the crystals. Neither does a powered anvil. So yeah, there's not really a workaround. Regardless, I do have my Superium Seed Extractor, and I want to see whether or not it works with things of a lower tier. So I require the Inferium Seed Extractor. Well, since it's tier 1 and dirt and water are tier 1 materials, I just want to... Oh, thank goodness. Alright, so I really don't need the Inferium Seed Extractor anymore. I can continue using... Oh, there's only 15 durability. Can this be repaired? Oh, you bet your bippy it can. Alright, so my Superium Seed Extractor, I'm going to keep the repair tablet in here, and I am going to make the remaining seeds I need in order to make my polymer clay. Alright, I am making plant gatherers now, and I wanted to make some growth crystals, but it appears that the recipe has changed, or at least it's different than what I'm used to. It requires potions of swiftness now, and yeah, I don't feel like making potions. Using industrial foregoing, it would be pretty easy, but to get the tier 2, I need nether stars, and I should have more than enough by now. And then I need a whole bunch of end crystals for the tier 3s. So I'm just going to use regular water for the farms that are downstairs, and not really worry about it. Oh, the plant gatherers are not going to be enough. I also need to make some range add-ons for them, because by default they only handle the block that is directly in front of them. So using the range add-ons, I can expand it into a 7x7 area, which is what the farm is going to be. And there are a total of 8 of them. I'm going to have 2 farms for iron, gold, dirt, and water, just to make sure that I can produce enough polymer clay to handle the production that I want. So many hours later, and I have 10 of all of these seeds. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get them all to grow up. So I got 2 10s, and I just used my clippers to infinitely spawn the seeds and planted them. The way that I'm going to have it right now is I have the dirt and water, which makes my clay. Then I have lapis. Gold and iron are going to be on the same plot, mainly because the recipe doesn't require very much of it, and it just makes sense to have it all on one plot. And then over here on the other side, it's exactly replicated. Because I had a lighting problem and some of these crops weren't growing, I put these illuminant fixtures up here at the top, and it is working amazingly. So yeah, after I finish growing up all of these, I'm actually going to get some power plugged into these plant gatherers, which do have the range add-ons, the +3 range add-ons, and they are going to be gathering all of the plants. I have everything hooked up, and it is working fantastically. The crafters are doing their job. Well, at least they're supposed to be doing their job. I have them set to extract, but they are not extracting the way that they're supposed to. Up here, I have just a mess of cabling, and it is a combination of vacuum impulse item ducts and the signalum plated impulse item ducts. Yeah, the polymer clay is not going inside here. I assume it's because these aren't actually getting powered, and trying to figure out how to power these is... Yeah, I'm racking my brain trying to figure it out. Up here is probably where I should put in the power and maybe just have an energy cell or something and have it run all the way. It's just a matter of making sure that power gets evenly distributed. And even then, I have already made quite a few impulse item ducts, and I'm going to have to make more if I want to transfer the power. And actually, I have to make the signalum plated impulse item ducts because I need to transfer power. Yeah, that's just another thing that I have to do, and a quick status update from me on how this is going. I am just about almost ready to turn this machine on, and I already put the data modules back in, at least one of the data modules, so like the gas is in here and it works all the way down. Eventually I'll get to the point where I will construct data modules, well 3 other data modules to go inside these simulation chambers. But as it stands right now, yeah, it's probably going to be a weekend thing to do. But yeah, I'm going to go try to figure out how I can get power routed evenly, and yeah, I'll be back with you as soon as I figure that out. So I figured out what my problem was. The simulation chambers can only be loaded from the top, so I reconfigured all of my impulse item ducts to load from the top, removed one set of simulation chambers for each, and I guess I'm gonna have to get over it. Some of these are working just fine, and like, yeah, Wither Skeleton, I already have 9 pristine matter, and this thing's almost full. I need to get everything sorted and moved up 1 level. So I have made a whole bunch of servos and filters because they can export from the sides. And from the outside, I actually think this looks super cool. So let's go outside for a second. Yeah, I really like how that looks on this level now that it's now that I've removed 1 set. I mean, it looks all right like this. It's just something about this that I like a lot more. I wish that I could somehow hide this, but there's no way to make item ducts invisible. I could make a cover for my item ducts out of glass, but I would still be able to see the item duct through it. It's not like Ender IO where there's an invisible conduit facade. So I'm going to have to live with that thing in the center. But other than that, I am very pleased with how this looks. One other thing that I did was I made these quantum storage units, and they are storing every single bit of essence that I'm making. The reason why I had to do this is because sometimes the plant gatherer, only this one, the other ones work just fine, but this plant gatherer, since I have both iron and gold going into it, sometimes it would clog with all iron or all gold, and then because if it was filled with all gold, then that means no iron could actually travel through to my crafter in order to continuously make me my polymer clay. So I just have this little middle unit right here for the quantum storage, and yeah, iron essence goes in here, nothing ever gets clogged in the plant gatherer, and then it just exports and goes right to the crafter that way. And I've had no problems, and oh my word, I have 154 polymer clay. I'm gonna get a lever and, turn these off. I am putting in the last of the servos now, and done. Alright, so now that the servos have been put in, I still need to handle how all of the items are going to be coming out. So I have filters on the top of everything here, and it only accepts pristine matter from the top. What just left and where did it go? Alright, I just watched the footage back, and it was just the pristine spider matter going into this right here and giving me my spider eyes. I already have everything configured so it gives me what I want. For the most part, one of them is always going to be giving me Inferium Essence, and then the other one's going to be giving me whatever I felt was most important for that particular mob. However, there are some exceptions, particularly with the Twilight Forest mobs. So the Twilight Forest mobs, I want fiery ingots, and I want ironwood materials. So that is, yeah, pretty much my only exception. I also have completely disabled the loot fabricators for whatever mobs I do not have. So this is supposed to be the blue slime, and then down here is that is the dragon, and that is the wither. I am not sure what this one is. This will be the thermal mobs. So yeah, I don't have those enabled because I don't want to risk any of my matter going into an area where it really shouldn't be going. So that is how this is right now. The next challenge is figuring out how I'm going to store all of this. So I think I've solved my item problem for deep mob learning, and that is with the use of this ender chest. I definitely need to stop using so many ender chests, but for now this is going to have to do. It is cyan, white, and orange, and I had to make some cable anchors in order to separate it from what is importing the glowstone and redstone. So I have a cable anchor right there. I just grabbed a red print because I need to copy a filter that I just made so I can actually make sure the deep mob area is configured properly. If I try to set the ender chest there right now, then everything is going to go in regardless. It's going to, where are you? Yeah, the polymer clay, all of that stuff. Right now, I have all of the matter going in here, and that's all 4 different types of matter. I'm also going to configure this filter to allow all of the things that I'm actually making. So, Inferium Essence, absolutely. Let's put it in that filter. Thinking about it now, I may not have enough spots in this filter to cover all items, so it's probably better that I have 2 ender chests anyway. I'm going to put one over there and have another filter handling anything else that gets missed in this filter. I didn't need the red print at all. Alright, I'm about to do the moment of truth. All I need is an ME import bus and place right there. And yes, stuff is importing into my system. So let's look up matter. There it goes. All right, I still have some. Here we go. Acceleration cards. Beautiful. And that is my deep mob learning system. It's a little overcomplicated, but I really, really like it. I'm going to go take one more look at it from the outside and see whether or not there's anything I want to change. Where is my warpy wand? Oh, and I don't think I ever said, but I got the teleportation wand in... Yeah, I got it in the end. It was in one of the end cities. Alright, and warp out. Oh yeah, that's not bad looking. That's not bad looking at all. Alright. Yeah, I really like the look of that. So, this is a 3-story, overly complicated machine, and I just am going to be generating resources like it's no tomorrow. I have the witch data module set up to make me glowstone, and that glowstone is going to immediately go into my ore processing center, because glowstone is a bottleneck as far as my endstone production is concerned. I also am making iron ingots with the zombie. So, yeah, I'm just rolling in resources right now, and I'm about ready to close out this episode. In between episodes, I'm not going to do anything because this episode took way too long to make and I want to take a break. But next episode, we are finally going to get into some magic mods, starting with Psi. I have a precursory knowledge of Psi. I was going to add it into a mod pack a long time ago, but yeah, I never actually played around with it. So I'm going to be learning Psi for the first time in the next episode. So I am Kelly Engineering. Hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.